Hey everybody, welcome to another Fun in 5. Today I have Lords of Waterdeep. This is by Wizards of the Coast. It's a Dungeons & Dragons based worker placement game. Sounds odd? Well, it's fun, and actually a ton of people enjoy this game. Let's find out why. First off, it is the theme. I love fantasy games, but I love fantasy games that do something different than just the normal hack and slash. I have fun hacking and slashing, but sometimes something different is cool. So this brings a very thematic Dungeons and Dragons-esque experience, fantasy gaming experience, to a worker placement genre that's often can be a bit dull or dry if you're just farming or just collecting resources. And it does that through different ways. I'll talk about some of the components and the other things that I think are fun, but even something as simple as the fantastic little coins they give you are supposed to be reminiscent of the world of water, or the city of Waterdeep, or the rubies, or the little icons that represent some of the factions in the game or in the city. So I have fun with the theme. You can see it on the map. I'll show that up on the screen. The map of the city can look quite immersive, even though it has really no great impact on the game. Just the visual helps you kind of picture yourself being in this cool city. And then some of the names and the images that you'll see on the different quest cards and whatnot are all immersive in the Dungeons and Dragons theme, that fantasy theme that I love so much. It is layered on nice and thick. It makes me feel like it's more than just moving a meeple around a board or placing a meeple on an action spot. So that's the first thing I like about it. Second thing I like is the cubes that represent the classes in the game. So there's 4 different colored cubes. There are orange that are the fighter, black that is the rogue or the thief, white that are the cleric, and purple that are the wizards. And the purple and the white are a little bit rarer. They're a little bit harder to get, which makes sense because it's harder to be a professional cleric and a professional wizard than it is to be a thief or a fighter. And you have to collect all these different cubes to do different quests and accomplish things in the game to acquire victory points to win the game. So it's neat how you can collect those. They'll go into your tavern or into your pool of adventurers, and then once you use them up, you send them out on quests. You lose those cubes and have to send them back. So I think that aspect of the game is neat because not only are you placing workers, but you're gathering resources that you might get in other games like wood or ore or steel. In this case, is represented by adventurers. So I like that additional theme layered on and how those cubes work. For the thing that I like next about the game, which are the quest cards. So in many worker placement games, you're trying to build up an engine or you're trying to build up resources to acquire things or to earn victory points. And this game is no different. You're trying to earn victory points through these different quests, whether they're piety or arcana or warfare or skullduggery, these different types of quests that you can acquire. But the cool thing is that you almost get to draft these quest cards as you're playing the game because you're going to see 4 face up on the table at any time, and you can choose to place one of your workers or your meeples on this board to acquire one of these quests, or you can you can reshuffle and play 4 new quests. And so you always have some opportunity to choose what you're going to pursue, and by choosing those quests you get to kind of put the adventurers that you might have already acquired to work, or decide how you're going to acquire new workers based on the quests that you want to acquire. And those quests are also tethered into the Lords of Waterdeep, the lord that you get to be in the game, and the different quests that you accomplish may give you extra points. So they all kind of work together in this kind of engine/victory point building mechanic, and the quests are an integral part to that because that's really where you get the most points in the game. The next thing I like are the buildings. So this game comes with quite a few buildings. This isn't all of them. This is just an example of them. But what you will do is you have the opportunity to go to the Builder's Hall and build new spots on the board. Kind of reminds me of Great Western Trail, or there's a few other games that do this. This one lets you choose one of 3 that are face up on the board. And if you pay the cost in money, you get to place that building on the board. And not only a building that you can use, anybody can use it, but you get to put your symbol, your faction symbol on there. And then if anybody else visits that spot, you get kind of a sub bonus. So if I go there, I get the main bonus. But if somebody else goes there, I'll still get a bonus. It's kind of like them paying their dues to use my spot, because those spots really have a much different impact on the game than the generic spots on the original board. And so you'll see these buildings kind of grow, especially the higher the player count, the more these buildings will come. And so you have many more options to where to place your workers, both to benefit yourself or to hopefully benefit from others going on your spot. So that's a really cool mechanic and fun part that I like about the game, is that you can kind of build your board differently every game depending on what buildings show up and what kind of money you have at the time. And then the last thing I like about this game, number 5, is about the hidden information in the game. So a lot of the information in the game is very visual. You can see it on the table, you can see the buildings, you can see the workers, you can see the quests, but there are a little bit of secrets in it. The biggest secret being the intrigue card. So everybody starts with some of these, and you can acquire some through choices that you make, places that you put your worker. And what they do is they can sabotage your opponents or benefit you, or sometimes both. You might actually give somebody a quest that they don't want to do, but they have to do before they can do bigger quests. And that's really painful, especially if you're on the receiving end of it. Or you may just kind of steal one of their cubes with some of the cards, or you may acquire a cube and other people can pay money to acquire cubes. There's always a main benefit to you, and then sometimes a sub benefit to others or a penalty to others for these intrigue cards. So I like that hidden part of it. The other hidden part of this game is in the lord that you are. So everybody has a secret lord. You're kind of manipulating these adventurers to help accomplish quests to kind of pursue your goal in the game. And so each lord usually has a very basic victory point benefit that they're going to get. So if I accomplish more Arcana quests with a certain lord, or this lord says at the end of the game, for every Arcana quest and Warfare quest I accomplish, I get an extra 4 points. So many of the lords are like that, but there's a lord that also gives you points for how many buildings you built, or some other things. So I like how, even though a lot of the game is very visual and you can see it, kind of transparent information, there's just enough hidden information that you don't always know what your opponents are up to. Are they really going for skullduggery? Are they do they have an intrigue card that could kind of sabotage what I'm going for on my next turn? So you always have to keep that in mind when you're playing the game. But there you have it, Lords of Waterdeep. I think it's a very well done game. It's not just a pasted on D&D theme into a generic worker placement. It's a really intriguing player interactive game that I've had a lot of fun with every time we've played. And I've also played with the expansion called Skullport, and it introduces an even different mechanic that actually is painful to use, but really fun to benefit from if you can use it the right way. So if you have a chance to play Lords of Waterdeep, or if you have Lords of Waterdeep and haven't bought the expansion, highly recommend the expansion. Thank you for watching. Have a great day.